Well, I'm into kind of an unusual art form. I recreate, I restore, and I conserve American banjos from the period of about 1800 to just about the end of the Civil War, just about 1870. So I build reproductions, I research the banjos. I actually help publish a database, which is the world database of 19th century banjo construction information. I restore them for collectors, and I conserve them, meaning just preserve them in place for museums. So I run the full gamut as to services I provide for banjos of this era. I was a Civil War reenactor, and I really fell in love with the sound of what Civil War banjo should have sounded like. Very few people play it. And I had the opportunity to hear a gentleman playing the original music on a period instrument, and I fell in love with it. And I said, I'd like to make that sound. Well, the problem was, at the time, I could not find a Civil War era instrument to buy. I finally found one that was in excess of $4,000 or $5,000, and it was broken. The guy said for $800 or $900 you might get it to play again, and I thought, my wife will kill me. I don't even know how to play the banjo. So I began the process of building my own, assuming that I would make 2 or 3, one for myself and one for the buddy that taught me how to play, and that would be the end of it. And that was about 275 banjos ago. And I just got into building because I was one of the few people that wanted to do it the old way. There were a couple other people who build instruments of this type, and there are more now than there were when I started. But I'm one of the few that's actually tried to take the technology back 150 years so that the technology is exactly as it would have been. You know, people ask me a lot, what do you love about doing this? And I have to say, you know, as I look at my life, it's the history. I mean, I love history. It's why I'm the executive director at the National Museum of Civil War Medicine. It's why I was a reenactor when I was 11 years old, bugging my dad. I gotta have a black powder rifle. I just gotta, I'll die. And he bought me one, and he and I, you know, shot black powder competitions and went to Civil War reenactments from the time I was 11. So I have this rare ability to go out and tell people things they don't know. And I can tell them a little bit more about themselves and a little bit more about the history of our country using a tool, or in this case, an instrument that most people just don't have a lot of information on.